Alex Eala at the 2026 Australian Open. Schedule and matchups. Alexandra Alex Eala is set to make her main draw debut at the Australian Open on Monday in Melbourne. The world number 49 is coming off a semi-final run at the ASB Classic in New Zealand, where she bowed out to Wang Xinyu. She then competed at the Kooyong Classic, defeating Donna Vekic and going on to be crowned champion of the exhibition tournament. Ahead of the season's first Grand Slam, Eala expressed confidence in her form and preparation over the past few weeks, bolstered by her gold medal campaign at the Southeast Asian Games last December. At this year's Australian Open, Eala will compete in both the singles and doubles events. In doubles, she will partner Brazil's Ingrid Martins. Match schedule. Singles draw. January 19th, 9:10 a.m., Alex Eala vs. Alicia Parks, round of 128. Doubles draw. No official schedule yet. Eala/Martins vs. Shuko Aoyama and Magda Linette, round of 64. Asterisk schedule is subject to change depending on preceding matches. Alex Eala at the 2026 Australian Open, a defining moment in her tennis journey. For Alexandra Alex Eala, the 2026 Australian Open isn't just another tournament, it's a milestone. After years of rising through the ranks, grinding through qualifiers, and making incremental breakthroughs, this Grand Slam represents her first ever main draw appearance at Melbourne Park as a direct entrant. It's the one major stage that has eluded her on the professional tour, until now. The road to Melbourne, preparation and momentum. The journey to the Australian Open began long before the hard courts of Melbourne. Eala's 2026 season kicked off with a strategic build-up designed to sharpen her game and elevate her confidence, a necessary foundation for the intensity of a Grand Slam. She started in Auckland, New Zealand, at the WTA 250 ASB Classic, where she made a semi-final run. This deep performance against a competitive field served not only as matches under pressure but also as a launching pad for her best form early in the season. Immediately after Auckland, she traveled to Melbourne for the Kooyong Classic, a prestigious invitational exhibition event that draws top players and offers a taste of Grand Slam conditions without the weight of ranking points. At Kooyong, Eala continued to impress. She faced and defeated Croatia's veteran Donna Vekic, extending her winning momentum and fine-tuning her competitive edge against seasoned opponents. Beyond wins and rhythm, the Kooyong Classic offered something rare: validation. Eala lifted the Yvonne Goolagong Collie Trophy, a symbolic moment that injected belief, excitement, and a sense of belonging on the big stage, before the main slam even began. This moment was widely shared among tennis fans and Filipino communities across social media and fan threads. Melbourne Park, the scene of dreams. As the Australian Open commenced, Melbourne Park buzzed with energy. The opening Grand Slam of the year always brings anticipation, fresh rivalries, and new beginnings. For Eala, entering the main draw directly, by virtue of her ever-improving ranking in the W, was itself a watershed moment. This year, she no longer had to battle through qualifying rounds as in previous years. She'd earned direct access into the elite 128-player field. Fans, particularly from the Philippines and the broader Asian tennis community, poured in to support her. The tournament had become something bigger than tennis alone, a celebration of national pride, representation, and a young star's arrival on the sport's grandest stage. First-round matchup, Eala vs. Alicia Parks. When the draw was released, Eala learned she would open her 2026 Australian Open singles campaign against American Alicia Parks, currently ranked inside the top 100. Parks is a formidable opponent, experienced and aggressive, with big serves and a power baseline game that can dominate rallies. Importantly for Eala, this matchup is her first ever main draw match at the Australian Open as a direct entrant, a historic milestone in her professional career. Parks, who has had her own success at Melbourne in previous years, having reached the second week of the tournament earlier in her career, presents a test that requires both tactical discipline and mental fortitude. This first-round match wasn't just about advancing, it represented a rite of passage. For years, Eala had watched players ascend through the ranks, walk onto court under the lights at Melbourne Park, and battle between the lines. Now it was her turn. Doubles action, broadening horizons. Eala's ambitions weren't confined to singles. Back in the doubles draw, she paired with Brazil's Ingrid Martins, another rising player with a strong all-court game. The tandem drew a competitive first-round match against Japan's Shuko Aoyama and Poland's Magda Linette, both experienced doubles practitioners with crafty net sense and court positioning. This doubles opportunity highlights something important: Eala's growth as a complete player. She isn't just chasing singles results, she's expanding her versatility, sharpening her net play, and learning the rhythm and communication required in partnership play. Each doubles match offers lessons she can bring back to her singles game, especially in moments of pressure and intensity. The expectations and the pressure. With rising ranking and growing visibility comes pressure, both internal and external. As a national icon for Filipino sports fans and a young ambassador for tennis in Southeast Asia, Eala carries the hopes of many who see themselves in her journey. But pressure can also be an ally. At her pre-tournament press conference, she spoke openly about preparation and confidence, not arrogance, but belief rooted in effort and growth. "I'm ready for anything," she shared, acknowledging that while opponents and conditions will challenge her, she's entering the tournament with a firm belief in her readiness to compete. Tactical outlook. What Eala brings to the court. So what makes Eala's game compelling at this stage of her career? 1. Aggressive baseline play. Eala's forehand, dynamic and penetrating, allows her to dictate points and control rallies. Against a power player like Parks, she'll need to use this weapon to take the initiative early. 2. Defensive agility. Her speed and court coverage make her uncomfortable to beat. Opponents can't simply blitz winners past her. Her ability to retrieve and extend rallies forces errors and creates openings. 3. Tactical variety. Eala blends power with subtle changes, stepping in to take balls early, mixing slices with pace, and using angles to pull opponents off the court. This variety can disrupt rhythm, especially against players who rely heavily on pure power. 4. Mental resilience. Having battled through qualifying rounds in previous years, fought for titles in smaller events, and navigated tight matches, she possesses the mental edge that often distinguishes winners from competitors in decisive moments. These traits put her in a strong position, not just to compete, but to surprise. Beyond the net, the bigger picture. For Eala, the Australian Open is more than just wins and losses. It's a chapter in a bigger narrative, that of a young athlete carving her place on the global stage. She symbolizes representation, a Filipino player competing at the highest levels, inspiring young athletes in countries where tennis hasn't historically dominated. Progress. Each match, regardless of result, is part of an upward arc, from juniors to challengers to WTA main draws and now grand